All right, let's get into this TA. Um, we're going to start with total market cap and then we'll go down to Matic. Let me know if you want me to look at anything in specific. Um, I'm still trying to master my own strategy. It's going to be heavily involving volume because I think that volume is um, like the best thing to that controls the markets pretty much. Volume is the thing that controls the markets. Is the cause of price movements. So if you can anticipate the volume, then you can anticipate price movements and capitalize on that information. So the reason that I thought the market was going to fall about a couple weeks ago, or a month ago, is because this is in 2018, 2017, on the total market cap. I have this one here is the 2017, and this one here is the 2000, like real time on the total. So um, when we got this huge move downwards, I saw this was very similar on BTC anyways, right here, that of this right here. And I know that as a cause to volume, bots basically follow the market. They trend follow. And so if this is true that we're in this cycle right here, that the bots are following this move, it's all about, do we have the demand to push us up higher, or is it really just going to follow this move? Has anything really changed fundamentally that the prices are going to get supported before their targets, right? So this is the target here for the longer term. First things first is this yellow line, which is 32 bars and 60%, which is the same thing that happened here, 68%. Um, 68%. So let's talk about this move that just happened here. So here's a Fibonacci from this move right here. So prices broke the top, and the bot's targets or whatever was 1236, and the same thing happened right here. So I thought that this was gonna hit this target and prices were gonna fall down. So there's one new thing that's different from this time versus the last time, is that this is the move right here that we took, and this is the target. So if we take the bottom of that move, we notice that the move that we're in right now, um, and we delete this one as well, and we take the bottom of that target, we broke that, and last time we didn't break it. So um, that's a little bit different. So in reality, this is all we're in right now, is that 52% so far. See how we have 53% this far, and this is all before, right? So I anticipated this movement just because I thought that bots were going to, follow this move, just because it already looked like it. I think maybe it was because of the volume, or the percentage move. So this one was 45, 43%, and this one here was 28%. I think it was on BTC that was a lot more similar. So 52%, and this one here is 52% as well. 11 days or 12 days, plus or minus 2, the statistics, that's how they count it. And what happened next after that in the trend um, was that the price in 3 days moved up to the 61.8. Okay, so that was a huge price move with the total, also the Bitcoin, of 58% inside of the golden ratio, the 61.8. That's um, the golden ratio is a really good number. So if we add the same, but we don't, like, there's a lot of things about this number, like we don't want to pass this number, right? Because that would mean that the trend is changing. This is a trend break, so we kind of did pass it. But anyways, and then we come back to very close to the next 61.8, which was just above it, and then we bounced again, and then finally formed that C wave. So this would have been an ABC, and then a B, and then this a larger ABC and Elliott waves. But let's not label it because it starts getting confusing after that. And let's just talk about the volume, the percentages, the time, the retracements. So this one right here would be about the same percentage retracement if we go and hit the 61.8. But here's the thing, we're getting resistance right now, and I was expecting a bigger move, right? If we are looking in this thing right here, let's use this one. These candles they're getting bigger, right? So in my opinion, we should be up a little bit more than that. So now just looking at this move, just eyeballing it, it kind of looks like this looks a little bit more similar. So if we take this whole ratio here, we still are expecting a 61.8 retracement, but maybe it's going to give it a little bit more time. So it's all about what the algos are following, and so that's the trend that I'm looking for here. You can get a little bit of the idea of what I'm looking for here in time and in price. So the total price movement downwards in the total. Let's go to the weekly. We'll see if it's easier to see. And we'll also take a look on Matic. And some of the dominance coins. Because, okay, so this is the weekly on the total market cap. And so we're only in the week 2, right? The week 2 of that crash right here. Not a crash, but the sell-off. So we would be right here. Actually, would be right here. So that's really the question. And then we see resistance. I mean, 5 more days for this weekly candle. It's a little bit different when it comes to the actual candle, but that means I don't know if this sold off and then it closed. Yeah, that's what happened. I mean, 5 more days, you have to kind of guess what's going to happen inside here. So that's why I like to go back to the daily chart and see, like, are we really going to fall below here? Are we going to continue to test that 61.8? And that's really all the thoughts on total. The one thing that's different about this crash right here is this, that we broke the previous low, and that's technically bearish, but the good thing is that we stayed above on Bitcoin it's much more obvious. On Bitcoin we stayed above the wave 4, so total is higher than Bitcoin technically. So if we change, like, just to check, this was a 53% on the total, and then we have a higher or a lower low on this one, and then for the total it's 53%, so the same, but it's a little bit different, right? So people are saying that this is either a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, or an A, B, C. That's just the expectations. It measures up to the 1618, and also the see how we haven't broken that wave 4, which is good, because that's generally where the golden ratio is, and they don't want to break that wave 4, because if they break the wave 4, the next target is like down here. That's the volume indicator right there. It's really good. Okay, what else? Alright, hopefully you can still hear me. My mic just got disconnected. So, um, yeah. So on Bitcoin, if Bitcoin is determining the market, um, we have this Fibonacci that we're fighting here at the 382. That's the dead cat bounce level for the wave 4s usually. Um, so yeah, it's just a lot of bots are set on these things, and we have to break the resistances on the short term. And that's the trend that I'm looking for on the total. Okay, so also we have rules on the RSI that is a buy at 40 to 45, like right here, inside this little box zone. And it looks like, I mean, we might have touched the 45 and then bounced off of it. I didn't see it because of that wick. But the next sell zone is at 60 to 65, and we could be getting there. On the lower time frames, like the 1 day. So let's talk about Matic and see what's good. Like also for Bitcoin, like there's kind of a lot of volume, right, that came in, and this is the spot market, so they're real Bitcoins. I don't know if you follow Bitcoin's transactions or transfers, or what you call it, on the blockchain, but so this is the volume. So about 300 million Bitcoins sold on the market. What we can also look at is Bitcoin dominance and USDT chart versus Matic. So here's Bitcoin dominance, which is really interesting because if we go to the weekly chart, this has 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I was anticipating that there's going to be a uptick because this is an impulse move, and this could be the ABC. So the Bitcoin bulls, what the Bitcoin bulls want to defend is the bottom here, and that they would anticipate the prices to pull up and go up like that. So if Bitcoin dominance continues up to what it was before, that means Bitcoin would gain steam, would gain dominance on the market. Generally, that happens in fifth waves where the altcoins get distributed into Bitcoin because it's kind of a safe haven or safer than the altcoins. And also, this time we could be distributing into USDT.D as well. So the question is, Bitcoin truly the still king? Is it going to dominate, or is Ethereum better? We also have Ethereum dominance here. So these coins are pretty important because on TradingView anyways, because if you search up dominance, they only give you a certain few. So actually they added this one here, so I'll add this. Whoops. That's just the USDC dominance, USDC. I don't know if you can collect interest on that one, but it just got added. And all these ones, so Bitcoin, USD, this one here we'll look at real quick. Ripple, ADA, and the reason I have these is because in ICP, I'm not sure what this is though, but it's there, and it has actually a big dominance on the market. So this one right here, ICP. Oh, hold on. ICP right here actually fell 9% today, but it has 1% dominance, and then others has 13. So Matic is in here, Aave's in here. Those kind of coins are in here, and then Ethereum has 19% dominance. So I guess like if we go to Ethereum BTC. So it's all about organizing, things that are going to give us the answers to the questions that we need to know. Like for example, Ethereum dash Bitcoin means that Ethereum dominance is going up um, versus Bitcoin, which is actually good, right? Apparently, that's what the institutions, the big banks, they want to buy is Ethereum, um, and things like that. Um, so, I mean, we would just still check the retrace because the rule of thumb on the retrace is that the bots are going to sell the 0.5 and up to the 61.8. They have different rules and stuff, but it's a retracement. And the way I kind of calculate it is by looking at the volume and really seeing what's good. Are they really buying right now? It looks like they were buying, but I think they're more interested in buying lower. I don't think it's the time to buy yet. So what they would do is just they would short it and cause everyone to panic, and then cause what they call the public. So they're the wholesalers. They buy cheap, and then they sell on the public, and then they push down the public at the exact right time. Right, we're talking about astrology, things that would make them panic, like have fear, and then sell, and then they generally like to buy it at the lows. That's what you know. Gann teaches in his books, not exactly like that, but that's the psychology of investing, because they want to get the investors to scare, um, and they want to buy as low as possible when the time comes, which is going to be maybe September or whatever. Like I'm not sure what the astrology dates are, but so this one here is new, very new. Um, Actually, it's not new. I've never seen this chart though before. But huge candle right here from last week, 300% up. Um, but the other one is more important because it has more dominance. It's USDT. Let me just bring this up now. This one right here. So these two, and the technicals is kind of like, I guess, hard to measure, but I think this is like an ABC, and this could be either 535 downwards, or if it can continue. So you can see that the wick, like it wicked here and then came back down. That means either it's going into, this is how I measure it too, right? You just like look at both of them. So total demand versus USD on the daily. So I mean, I don't know if it's going to double top here, but it's like, this is where there's a big volume, like a lot of distribution here, a lot of selling, a lot of buying right now in the trend, in the wave. So most of the volume, 70% of the volumes, right here, like this right here. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you on the total. It's really the timing of up and down. And Matic, let's take a look here. I'll also take a look at Matic BTC because this one's really interesting. Like a couple months ago, like really nice. It's interesting. It's not like there's no volume on it, so it doesn't really. Only right here there's huge volume because some people that had Bitcoin, they bought Matic back in May 2019, and it's formed a huge double bottom at the bottom right here. So it never surpassed the bottom, bounced off of it, and just went up like crazy. So So it's 4 months in. It's 21 months of consolidation. So I'll do a TA on this one because I think it does follow the waves. So this is the monthly chart. One good thing I just point out on Matic is the uptrend, how we're making higher lows every single month. Right here, higher low, higher low, higher low, and the next month we'll see what happens. So I look at volume first before anything. Like, is it getting bought? Is it getting accumulated or distributed? Are we in a trend? Like on the monthly, we're still in a trend. But then you go on the weekly and you kind of see, like, are we still in a trend? What's going on with the volume? Is it getting distributed? Or is it getting bought? And it all depends. Like, for example, if the price goes up with low volume, it means it's probably not a real move. So this one here was big volume, but this candle here is not that big. This candle is small, but it has a lot of volume, which is means that it's getting sold. It's getting distributed a little bit. So it's important to watch within the next couple days because the daily is still in an uptrend like 3 days ago. This one was in a downtrend here, and then it broke the downtrend on the daily. Now it's in an uptrend. And then we can go like to the hour chart and do the same thing, right? So, I mean, this looked like a bull flag on the last video I was trying to say, and it broke through this thing right here, the POC, and the huge volume. So this is resistance. It looks good right now. Let's see here. The POC is the point of control, which is like the average volume thing. But yeah, like this is the volume thing that we have to watch and be careful for. So see this right here, this candle, small candle, kind of indecision reversal candle on big volume, which tells you that there was sellers that sold on market and looked at the order book and just sold on market. So what we want to do is just continue to uptrend, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low, and break this. So once you see that it doesn't do a higher low anymore and it starts to find resistance and then the volume starts coming in there, that's usually when like it starts breaking the trend and reversing. So all the lower lows right here pretty much. And the 1 hour chart's not the best one to do it on, but like which is. It's okay if you use the rule of 3, which Gann uses, which basically says, okay, count 3 candles. But he only uses the daily chart, the weekly chart, and the monthly chart. So yeah, so it's almost at like $2 right now. This is like a psychological resistance as well. 3, 3, 3, 3. But yeah, like that's all secondary stuff. The volume is really first, in my opinion. And time, like this is kind of what I would look for mass pressure. If it doesn't do it before this, I think it would come back down like that. But regardless, let's take a look at the daily chart and just talk about the uptrend because there was some resistance, right? So like the last time, what's really interesting with this pattern here, volume pattern, volume candles, is so we look at this candle here. Someone did the same thing. So they same candle, right? Same pattern. So we could actually be doing the same thing. So what I learned is that the fractal patterns happen on first on a small time frame, and then they go on a big time frame. That's what fractals are in Elliott waves and any type of patterns. So if we go back to the hour chart, we could see like that it looks very similar, right? So we would expect the same type of pattern here. Let's take a look at what the retracement did. let's use the highest high. So the retracement here hit a 1-to-1. Yeah, hit a 1-to-1. And if we use the same thing here, we would expect the fractal pattern to hit a 1-to-1, which would be at like $4. And the time, this is where it gets a little bit hard to know. So the time here was 10 bars, then I went down for 6, then up for 15, for a total of 30. So it was a 3 since the big candle, 3-to-1. So this one right here would be something that we can look forward to, is the uptrend, as well as the time, and we'll take a look at where, because this is like our expectations and where it's going to go. At least a 61.8, which would be a double top perfectly. This is a 61.8, and this time is important to us. So let's keep that on the chart. I'll send you a picture when it comes to time there. May 26th. So yeah, Matic isn't a dominance coin yet, but it can get there, I guess. And I'm not sure if like log scale is better or if it's not better, but it gives us a different count. So this is not log scale. It hit the 61.8. So it might double top in the 6.8, but the bots, they stopped selling pretty much. Well, it depends what wave we're in. Like if it's a B wave, it can go higher. It can go all the way to the double top and then do a C wave. So we have to wait. I think it looks good right now though, and that's all that matters for now in the daily chart. It's just showing us a little bit of a warning sign, right? So this was like supply hit the market, but it got accumulated, so they call it being absorption cycle. And then it went down a little bit, but on low volume. And here's the really interesting thing that I found out, and it's pretty common sense that the market makers, they wouldn't want to break the low here. So here they pushed it up, and then they uptrended it. So just like that, higher low, higher low, higher low. And then this one here, unfortunately, was a lower low, but it still didn't break this point where the volume got hit on the market. So if we add the high of the candle here was 89, and that's where I was expecting it to really bounce. But as you can see, we got a huge wick. Oh, the daily just opened right now. That's good. We'll get to look at what happens here. So Gann has a bunch of rules that are like pretty simple when it comes to trend following, and like to keep it simple. So he has a rule for price reactions that if it's not the same, like this and this, it's called a abnormal move. Okay, I don't know if the sound is off. But yeah. All right. See how the volume's increasing? This is good. They're buying, they're buying, they're buying. It's going to probably break out, but we don't want to see some reversal. Let's go on a lower time frame. I like this one. Like this is predictable. I can predict this pretty easily on the 5 minute, but this one just takes longer. So yeah. So what happened here is basically it hit the stop losses. They pushed it up, sold off. Hit this one right here. So this is our support. This is going to be their stop losses, but then we still have some support here, a pivotal point, and then also the retracement. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this starts to make sense, a lot of sense, like because especially at the daily closes, you get to download everyone's thoughts basically, because if similar patterns whatever repeat, then we could be expecting something like that, a double top with the price of time. Yeah, I hope you heard that because my mic just keeps disconnecting.